Broadcasting live from the Capital OTB studios, this is Racing Across America with Seth Merrow.
We'd like to thank Gulfstream Park for their sponsorship of this program and some of the other programming and events here at Capital OTB. Gulfstream Park's championship meet features great racing now through Florida Derby weekend at the end of March. Good morning and welcome to Racing Across America on this big Saturday, really big Saturday. Obviously, we're in the midst of Dubai World Cup Day over in the Mideast, which will feature the Dubai World Cup at 12:45 today. We'll be back in bottom of the hour because, again, we're showing all the races here. Bottom of the hour, the UAE Derby will come up. We'll get you to that in a bit. In the meantime, we have plenty of action here on the show as well. But also coming up, of course, later today at Gulfstream, Florida Derby, and a great undercard of stakes out at Oaklawn. The Arkansas Derby, a great undercard of stakes races there as well. Let me alert you to a couple other notes to make note of. Today, Woodbine Mohawk, they have a mandatory pay in their jackpot high five. That's tonight on the sulky side of things. It'll be race 13 at Woodbine Mohawk, 20-cent increment, and again, a mandatory pay. I know people like that. At 20 cents, you put together a little pyramid ticket, maybe have some fun. That's Woodbine Mohawk. Tonight, mandatory pay in their jackpot high five. And tomorrow at Gulfstream, there will be a mandatory in the Rainbow Six. So keep that in mind as well. Today, here at the Clubhouse Racebook Match Bet Promotion, come on down and have a little extra fun here at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Come on down, watch all the great racing action. And don't forget, we are currently open. It is only a few minutes after 9 o'clock, but the doors are open here at the Racebook because of the Dubai World Cup action, which is underway. So if you want to head down here to the Racebook, hop in the car and do it. We are currently open here at the Racebook, and we'll be open a little bit later today, too, with the late card at Oaklawn. Will be open until 9 o'clock. So 9 to 9 today here at the Clubhouse Racebook. And speaking of promotions, apologies today to everybody who was on the bankroll team yesterday, the Pick 3 bankroll. That was brutal. I played 4 different Pick 3s yesterday. 3 of them, might have been all 4, but I know 3 of them hit 2 legs and ran second in the other leg. But 2 of those, it couldn't have been that. Both races, they came under the wire, and I thought, I think I have it. I'm not sure if I have it. Then the slow-mo came, and I thought, I'm not sure. Maybe I have it. And then the photos came out and lost both of them by a smidge. So it was frustrating. So we kind of whiffed on the bankroll team, which it's been a long time since that happened. So, again, apologies to the bankroll team. We will try to make up for it next time. But again, keep your eyes on all the promotions and events here at Capital OTB for your chance to have a little fun, maybe get a little extra dough, courtesy of Capital OTB. All right, a little bit later on, again, we'll talk some Oaklawn with Nancy Holthus. Talked to her yesterday and recorded an interview. Looked at the Arkansas Derby and more with Nancy. But we're going to kick things off with Brian Nadeau. And we had him on Derby Deep Dive yesterday. We taped an interview that looked at the Florida Derby and then some of the other undercard stakes. Yesterday, we showed the Florida Derby, and normally I would point you to that, and say, if you missed that, go yesterday. But I thought it's the Florida Derby on a big day, so I still included it because I know a lot of people may be working on Friday, didn't get a chance to see Derby Deep Dive yesterday. Our Derby kind of steps to the Derby preview show every Friday morning at 10. So again, apologies to folks who maybe saw this yesterday, but we'll start out with a little Florida Derby conversation, but then we roll in to the rest of the stakes as well. So we're going to take a break, come back, Brian Nadeau, Nancy Holthus later, and in between, bottom of the hour, we will have the UAE Derby from Meydan in Dubai. Stay tuned.
The championship season is on at Gulfstream Park with great horse racing action Thursday through Sunday. Come out and enjoy the world's best horses, trainers, and jockeys as they compete over the Hallandale Beach Oval all season long. Take your experience up a notch and join us in 10 Palms Restaurant with unbeatable track views, outstanding dining, and convenient wagering options. For reservations, event schedules, tickets, and more, head to GulfstreamPark.com.
If you don't have a Capital OTB account yet, now is the time to log on and take advantage of the sign-up bonus. More details at capitalotb.com. Become a Capital OTB account member now and enjoy free past performances, wagering from any device, live streaming, racing info, contests, promotion and events, and more. So sign up now and take advantage of the new account bonus. Details at capitalotb.com.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
Big day as far as Derby preps across the country, down in Arkansas Derby at Oaklawn, but at Gulfstream, not only the Florida Derby, but a great undercard at stake. So who better to talk to than our friend Brian Nadeau? Brian, good morning.
Hey, Seth, good morning to you. Good to hear and see you. And what a day. Yeah, it wraps up the championship meet closes Sunday, but obviously the highlight, the culmination is Saturday. And wow, what a curling Florida Derby, race number 14. Keep everybody here to the bitter end for an absolute star-studded, by far deepest Kentucky Derby prep all winter.
Yeah, so far I think this is shaping up as the top prep on the Derby trail. The bluegrass down the road is looking pretty good, but boy, it's a big field on Saturday. Certainly, we're taping on Thursday, but I looked and it looks like your weather's going to be very nice on Saturday as well.
Yeah, we are the old all systems go here in Hollandale Beach. It looks like it's a great weekend. Going to be a big crowd on here, and I don't think they're going to get disappointed, Seth. What a race we're putting out there.
No, we were down for the Fountain of Youth, and I'm envious. I'd love to be down there for this action, not only to enjoy the nice weather, but to enjoy a great race and a great race card. But let's jump right in with race number 14 on Saturday afternoon, the Florida Derby, Grade 1 event, $1 million up for grabs, 9 furlongs the trip. The top three to me are tough to separate. Nearly, I put that one on top, but Chief Wallaby and Commandment. Chief Wallaby, a couple of weeks ago, the last Derby Future Poll, about a week and a half ago, Chief Wallaby wound up the co-favorite with Paladin, which I found surprising. He had a shorter price than Commandment coming out of the 1-2 finish in the Fountain of Youth. But I wound up with Nearly. I'm very intrigued to see what he does. Todd Pletcher came out of the Holy Bull and said our plan is to go to the Florida Derby, skip the Fountain of Youth. I tried to make a case for the Puma, and I wound up putting him at the bottom of my mix. But again, the top three look very intriguing on the Derby trail currently. How did you see the Derby?
Yeah, it's an interesting, almost a race within the race, because Nearly and Chief Wallaby, they need Derby points, Seth. So in theory, they kind of sort of have to be maybe a little tighter than a Commandment or the Puma, who are the house horses in that they've already qualified for the Kentucky Derby for all intents and purposes. I just feel pretty darn strongly at the end of the day, Commandment's a much better horse. And I also feel that at 9 furlongs in a true race, he's too good for these. Nearly won the Holy Bull, the short stretch finish line. Of course, the Fountain of Youth was the short stretch finish line as well. But you go back and watch that race, and I've said it more than a few times, and you watch Irad Ortiz Jr., who's not aboard Commandment on Saturday. Flavian Pratt will be aboard. But Irad kind of Ramon Dominguez did in deep stretch. He had more horse than he wanted to let on. He almost wrapped up Commandment nearing the wire. You watch this horse gallop out, and again, he just takes off.
They reach the first finish line, top of the stretch mark. On the outside, Chief Wallaby lays down the challenge to Solitude Dude. Commandment with a big opening toward the rail. The Red Sea parts for Commandment, and he's charging after Chief Wallaby to the first finish line. Commandment on the inside, Chief Wallaby to the outside. Commandment with the momentum. Chief Wallaby makes him earn it. Commandment, Chief Wallaby. Commandment wins the Fountain of Youth.
It was something to behold when he did that in the Mucho Macho Man. He did it again in the Fountain of Youth. I think he's a horse that wants to run all day, and I just think this trip is going to be better for him on Saturday. I like him. I do agree with you with Nearly. I think he's poised to run a big race. He's got to. He needs points. He skipped the Fountain of Youth. He's fresh. But with that being said, this race is so much more difficult than the Holy Bull.
And they're at the top of the stretch. 3/4, 1:10-1. It's Nearly who has the lead. He'll have to turn back Bravaro, who moves up on the outside, and he's the only danger. Cannoneer is back third, then Global Aviator, and they're on their way home. Nearly shaken up for the drive by Johnny V, still responding with a 3-length lead, and Bravaro is destined for second. The 2026 Holy Bull goes to Centennial Farms. Nearly in a dominant display, won by 7.
Nearly was on top of really hellacious fractions. I don't think he can do that again here and stick around. So I put him in second. I'm not sold on Chief Wallaby, A, wanting to run this far, and B, just being able to go back to the well after he ran so huge in the Fountain of Youth. A lot of people think he'll move forward off that, and I understand it, but this is now going to be his third absolutely hard race in a short period of time. I did not think he was finishing as good as Commandment in the Fountain of Youth. And I think Commandment, like I said already, has a much more of a license to appreciate this trip better. The Puma was too slow to me, to be perfectly honest. I know you have to be impressed with the way he won the Tampa Bay Derby. He was wide every step of the way, but he's going to have to improve several lengths, and he's already got the Derby points. So how tight is he going to be? He's a big play against for me.
I'm intrigued to see what the odds shape up at when they get into the gate, because as I say, Chief Wallaby taking the action last week in the future pool, I found surprising. And so I'm going to be interested to see, the Bill Mott factor may play into it. So I'm intrigued to see who goes off eventually as the favorite, because again, Commandment beat him last time. And I'm kind of with you. Commandment to me is maybe more logical as the favorite, but that future pool last week said no. And Nearly, again, I went back and forth on Nearly. You do have to look. The 6th place finisher in that Holy Bull was Incredible, who came back to win the Virginia Derby. Now, that seemed like an aberrational race in the Holy Bull for Incredible. So I'm not sure what to make of that and whether he was flattered or not. Bravaro eventually came back and ran 4th in the Fountain of Youth. So it's really intriguing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Bravaro is just not very good, at least at 2 turns. And all those guys in the Fountain of Youth beat him more than Nearly beat him. Chief Wallaby's your morning line favorite, Seth. I think they're going to bet him. I think people are going to be, at least they're going to note that Irad Ortiz took off Commandment to ride Renegade in the Arkansas Derby, and I think that'll hold weight too.
All right. As I say, it is a power-packed undercard as well. Let's take a look at some of those races. The Pan American right before the Florida Derby. They're going 1.5 miles on the turf. I went with Farbridge. I didn't really want to be off the layoff, but there are a couple other horses in here off a layoff that are intriguing as well. So they're all in the same situation. But Farbridge came back last year and won this race off a layoff. So I landed there. I thought Dashman might be interesting. Echo Lane, Corruption. How'd you see the Pan Am?
Yeah, I mean, everything you said is accurate. Farbridge is a multiple grade 1 winner with 2.4 in the bank million. He's the horse to beat, but I think Dashman is cranked here on Saturday. And I like him. I like him a lot in this spot. He catches Farbridge at the right time. Dashman got his prep out of the way last time when mile and a 16th off a long layoff. So he's got a recency edge on Farbridge. He's also a grade 3 winner at the course and the distance. He won the McKnight here last winter for Brian Lynch, who's got 9 stakes wins on the card. I think he's in a great spot, certainly Farbridge in the class, and he's got prop, but he's 4 for 4 here at Gulfstream too. I'm going to try to beat him in this spot while acknowledging, down the road, he's probably a better horse.
Yeah, the layoff, as I say, was a big concern for me, but he went off the layoff last year, but I have no argument if people are going for a little more recency in there. 12th race on the card, the Sand Springs. These are fillies and mares going 1 mile and a 16th. Intriguing field in here as well. I wound up on Silver Moonlight for Safi Joseph, coming out of a 3rd in the seasonal debut in the Honey Fox, but I thought that was a good foundation to move forward from. Yes, it is for Brad Cox. Relatively likely race, but kind of interesting, coming in from a Sam Houston race in January that I think could be, again, a foundation to move forward from. Candy Quest, I have in my mix. Maggie Go. What are your thoughts on the Sand Springs?
Yeah, I'm going to take a a little bit of a shot, not a big one, but Hang the Moon. Go back and watch her replay in her first start for Sappy Joseph Jr.
Hang the Moon, still waiting to go on with it with Vixen in front. Eighth of a mile to go. It's Vixen the leader. Hang the Moon rolling up on the outside. Hang the Moon front and center for a very sharp victory at 5-1. Hang the Moon going away.
She did have Lasix on. She ran like a wild horse through the lane to beat up on far lesser than she meets here. But if you look at her California form with Phil D'Amato, she was a graded stakes kind of filly, even won a grade 2 out there. So she could play with this kind of group. It's a mile and a 16th. Her better races were a little farther out there, but she looked awesome winning for Sappy. I'm going to put her on top. I think clearly the 3, Sweet Rebecca, is the horse to beat. 2 for 2 here, a big comeback win that was way better than the margin indicated. I don't really know where Silver Moonlight's race came from in the Honey Fox, but she can do it again and beat me. I think Candy Quest is a big player as well. It's a spread race for me. Even Chad Brown on the inside with Maggie Go isn't out of this. I'll go deep in this race, but I do like the 4 Hang the Moon at which should be a decent price.
Yeah, I had that one back and forth in my mix as well. No arguments there. And finally, let's take a look at the boys in the Florida Derby. The girls, as is typical on a big day for the boys, the girls have the Oaks, the Gulfstream Park Oaks, $250,000, 8.5 furlongs. I couldn't get past She Be Smooth. The first 2 starts of the career for Pletcher were very good. Prom Queen for Brad Cox, My Miss Mo, Just Singing. But boy, She Be Smooth has just looked fabulous in the first 2 starts so far. Your thoughts in the Oaks?
Her win in the Devona Dale was breathtaking. 6 lengths to the good.
Here's She Be Smooth in front and going away. My Miss Mo fighting hard with Omaha Bay. Then it's On Time Girl. But at 5-1, the Devona Dale Stakes goes to Todd Pletcher and Flavian Pratt with She Be Smooth. Smooth indeed by 5 in the end.
She did get a great pace scenario, but she won by 6 lengths. So you can't fault her. And she beat Prom Queen in her debut. I think that's important too. But Prom Queen is so good, Seth, and go back and watch her win, which was at the 2-turn short stretch finish line. So She Be Smooth has got to prove she can run 2 turns, and her pedigree, at least on the top with Lexingtonian on the top, she's not necessarily bred to relish this kind of trip. It is a short stretch finish line that can flatter horses that don't want to run this far. Prom Queen, she won her maiden by 8 lengths. She was 20 lengths the best that day. She got in all sorts of a predicament. She was between horses entering the far turn. She was just in a really bad spot, and she had to back out of it. And to his credit, the Hall of Famer Javier Castellano didn't panic. He knew what he had under her. He tipped her out on the far turn.
But here comes Prom Queen. Black Cat boldly now on the outside. Squanders between them. 2 back to Fletcher's Rockhead, and they're at the top of the stretch. And Prom Queen has made a bold bid to take a clear lead. 3/4, 113 flat, and Prom Queen is in a gear the others don't have. She goes to the first finish line, widening on a 6-length lead. At odds on, it's Prom Queen in front. Prom Queen, the star of the show, to win it by a widening 10 lengths in the end.
My goodness, she was breathing different air than those horses. And albeit not much behind her, I get that. It was an impressive win. I think she's got the firepower to play with She Be Smooth. She'll be a better price, albeit not by that much. So, I mean, these are 2 horses, a lot like the Derby, Seth. These are 2 horses that have every right to move on to Kentucky and be huge players in the Oaks, too. These are not just Florida horses. These are national horses. I think they'll throw down on Saturday. I'll put Prom Queen on top just tepidly with using them both on the top line.
Very good. So again, a really nice stakes day. We hit on a few of them, but there are plenty of other nice stakes there as well. Looking forward to that card on Saturday. Before we wrap up, just give a little wrap up on the championship meet as well. I mean, it seems like it was a good meet through and through. We were down again, Fountain of Youth Day. That was a great day. It's been a great battle with the jocks and whatnot and the trainers. Just overview of the championship meet.
Yeah, I mean, it never disappoints. The big days were so good. I think the fact that we cut to 4 days, the less I think really is more. I think the quality was better, and Pegasus obviously never disappoints. The Fountain Youth has been the best 3-year-old race, hands down, in the country without question. And then we'll double up on that and go all in and raise the bar in the Derby on Saturday. 14 races. Got to mention Sunday when we truly close it down. 11 races and a mandatory Rainbow Six on the last 6 of the card. So no rest for the weary, but we wouldn't have it any other way. And like you said, it's been great to kick it off again on Thanksgiving and to go all the way through, and the performances and the breakthroughs. And, you know, we're very fortunate. We saw Sovereignty last year grow up and turn into a Kentucky Derby horse. And let's see, is Commandment going to do it? I hope so. But, you know, it's been a great winter again.
And you mentioned the Pegasus. How about Skippy last week? Came back and followed up the Pegasus win over at Oaklawn in the Essex.
Yeah, it's so cool. It was unfortunate he couldn't make the trip for the big cap out in Santa Anita because he would have walloped that field. But 7 years old and better than ever, a testament to and credit to Safi Joseph Jr. and his team, owner Daniel Alonso too. And I'm not going to tell you he's forever young, and we don't know what Sovereignty is when he comes back. But my goodness, Skippy Longstocking is pretty good right now.
Yeah, he looked great last week. It was a suspect field maybe, but he looked pretty good on the comeback from the Pegasus. And just one more thing, talking about the championship meet and the mandatory pay on Sunday. The Turf Pick 3 has become very popular.
Yeah, it is. It's Saturday. They've estimated the pool at $150,000, 15% weight takeout, $3 base minimum. The last 3 turf races on the card. And if you ever chart the parlays or kind of do that thing, oh boy, it usually doubles them. It's a phenomenal bet. That and the coast to coast are the 2 best bets we have for the player. And I would highly recommend taking a look at that TT Pick 3, Tropical Turf Pick 3 on Saturday, encompassing 3 stakes races.
Yeah, as I say, it's become popular, so I wanted to note that as well. Brian, as always, appreciate the visit. Wish you and everybody a lot of good luck down there. Say hello to the whole team down there for me, and we'll talk again.
Absolutely, Seth. Have a good day. Everybody back home as well. We'll talk to you soon.
It pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
You like free money? Well, Capital OTB gives its players plenty of opportunities to cash in. At Capital OTB, there are so many ways for horse players to receive bonus dollars by simply participating in promotions such as our bankrolls, bounty bets, online handicapping contests, and much, much more. Plus, with Capital OTB's Player Rewards program, you get actual cash back. So what are you waiting for? Log on today at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com and claim your free money.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Whoops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
And again, thanks to Brian Nadeau for taking the time. We taped him a couple days ago and put a little Florida Derby conversation into yesterday's Derby deep dive, and then had the rest of the stakes as well this morning. So again, thanks to Brian for taking the time, and we will be tuned in, certainly. We're early this morning because, take note, they are early at Gulfstream today with the big 14 race card. They kick off at 11:30, so I'd expect their pregame 10:15, 10:30 or so. So we kicked off early today ourselves. But we are in the midst of some early action also with Dubai. And again, don't forget, the Clubhouse Racebook has been open now for a while, since 9 a.m. To take advantage of that Dubai action. You can come down and enjoy the morning into the afternoon right here at the Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Will be open later as well. The Arkansas card, the Oaklawn card, goes a little bit later than normal. So 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. today, Clubhouse Racebook. We'd love to see you down here enjoying the, as I say, morning, afternoon, and evening. And grab a little lunch over at Black Bear. It should be a lot of fun down here today with, again, really, really good action on the Derby Trail and beyond. And speaking of the Derby Trail, you can see it there in the upper right-hand corner. We'll get you to the UAE Derby. Still about 3 minutes to post there, so we'll take a look. And for yesterday's Derby Deep Dive show, I was curious. I went back to 2017, so, the better part of 10 years here, and how the UAE Derby played into the Kentucky Derby. Currently, it's a 100-point race, 100 points to the winner, 50, 20, etc. So it will produce one or two horses that have the potential to move on. They become invitees, essentially, but it could be up to the top 2 points earners because these points are separate from the points in the United States. They are points earned on the Mideast/European trail. But I will say the finishing position maybe not productive, but it has produced runners in the Kentucky Derby. UAE Derby winners going back to 2017. Thunder Snow went on to be a DNF, did not finish in the Kentucky Derby, ran there, but subsequently won the 2018 and 2019 Dubai World Cup. So nice runner there. 2018, Mendelssohn won the UAE Derby and ran 20th in the Kentucky Derby. Pluquet Parfait in 2019 ran 8th in the Derby, 6th in the Belmont. 2020 COVID year, there wasn't UAE Derby. 2021, it was Rebels Romance as the winner. Did not, being more of a turf horse, did not go on to the Kentucky Derby, but had 6 grade 1s after the UAE Derby, and one of those being the Breeders' Cup Turf a couple seasons ago. 2022, Crown Pride went on to run 13th in the Derby. Japanese runner, and that was about the time Japanese runners started to make a little noise internationally. Went on to win a couple of graded stakes after that, but again, 13th in the Derby. Derma Sotogaki, 6th in the Kentucky Derby, eventually ran 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Classic. 2024, Forever Young, who ran 3rd in the Derby. There's the best of your performances of the UAE Derby runners moving on to the Kentucky Derby. But of course, Forever Young had to have a great career, and which continues today in the Dubai World Cup. Last year, it was Admire Daytona, ran 19th in the Kentucky Derby. So again, we've had a number of runners come out of this race. The results maybe haven't been as good, but we'll see this year. 6 Speed, the number 3 horse, taking the action. No surprise, 3 for 4, and could be interesting if this one comes out and moves on to the Kentucky Derby. An offspring of Not This Time. I have Brotherly Love on top, the 6 horse, currently 13-1. Comes in off a win at Meydan in the most recent effort, trained by Jamie Osborne. A couple of wins, couple of seconds, and 6 career starts. And again, some value on the board there at 13-1. So I have 6 over the number 6 over the number 3, and the number 3 being 6 Speed, who again is currently the favorite, probably deservedly so. He's the one that has had a little buzz already running into this as a potential starter in the Kentucky Derby, perhaps. Devon Island for Charlie Appleby, the number 7 horse, 5-1 there. Certainly a record that's hard to knock. 4 starts, couple of wins, couple of seconds. And Pyromancer, the number 1, who co-choice currently, 3 for 3, and a Japanese runner. And as I say, over the past few years, the Japanese runners have certainly made noise on the international scene, including Forever Young winning the Breeders' Cup Classic last year. So Pyromancer in from Japan. Again, interesting in here as the co-choice. Well, now it's separated. Now 6 Speed 5-2, Pyromancer 3-1. But I have it 6-3, 7-1. I'm going to take a little pop with Brotherly Love, the number 6 horse. All right, they're showing 0 minutes to post. They're prancing around behind the gate. We will send it to the UAE Derby. Don't forget, a little bit later on, about 12:30, 12:45, it is the Dubai World Cup, which, again, features Forever Young and some American horses as well in here. Magnitude Hit Show in the mix a little bit later on. But coming up as they load into the gate is the UAE Derby. We'll send it that way. We'll take a break after that. We'll come back, be joined by Nancy Holthus. I'll be back live in a few, but stay tuned. Up next, Dubai, race number 4, UAE Derby.
In Adri de Vries, who will have his swan song race here. He's had a wonderful career in the saddle. He jumps on Ramas here tonight for Bupat Seema and Triple R Racing. So best of luck to Ardrey here. And we wish him the best of luck going forward. Here's Saloom. This is the moment that we've been wanting and waiting to see. Blindfold on. Last in, Saloom. Gate 6. He's in. Runners are set. Away. And the blindfold didn't come off the first time, but he jumped with them, Saloom. He's out to last, 6 speed, showing good pace with Ramas. Wonder Dean is in third position off the track. Then came Lino Pedrino, who hunts up the fence inside of Union Security. They sit third and fourth. Then came Pyromancer, who's a little wide. Next there, Labois, the inner, not leading tonight. Next there was Devon Island from Saloom, now up to third position. Go Man and Brotherly Love is last. 6 speed is burning them up in front here. 1,400 metres left to go. 8.81, 10.84 as they head onto the back of the course. It's 3.5 in advance now of Ramas in second. Lino Pedrino is third on the inside of Union Security. 1.5 lengths to Wonder Dean from Saloom, working through pairs on in the centre of the course. Next there on the outside was Pyromancer, wide without cover. Labois is on the inside in fourth to last. 2.5 lengths to Devon Island from Go Man, and Brotherly Love is wide, getting on Pyromancer's back and beginning to improve as 6 speed continues on with it. 6 speed leads them to the back turn. The margin now 5 lengths. He skipped away from Wonder Dean in second. Ramos is third, being pushed along. Lino Pedrino, the inside, hasn't spent a penny. Next on the outside was Pyromancer, 1/2 length to Union Security, 1.5 lengths to Brotherly Love, 1/2 length Saloom. Then came Devon Island from Go Man. Labois out to last as 6 speed has got one contender at the moment, and it's Wonder Dean, who is breathing down his neck here as they wheel the bend in the UAE Derby. It's 6 speed by 2 lengths to Wonder Dean in second. Pyromancer third. Fourth, Brotherly Love making good ground here. The race has been run to suit. It's up in front, 6 speed from Wonder Dean. 6 speed into unknown territory from a distance range. Wonder Dean looms up on the outside for DeMuro. Comes past a length. Wonder Dean from 6 speed, who's not done with yet. Fighting ever so hard, but Wonder Dean coming away, and it's Japan again in the UAE Derby. Wonder Dean by 1.5 lengths, maybe 2 lengths to 6 speed. Pyromancer has been able to rattle home into third position from Brotherly Love. Then came Devon Island. Next over Union Security from Lino Pedrino. Saloom wasn't in the mix there early, but has run on and finished the race. From Ramas, then came Go Man, and last in was Labois. Didn't get it run to suit. Wonder Dean for Christian Demuro, Daisuke Takayanagi going on to win here. The 3-year-old colt by D Majesty, off the rating of 107, has been able to score here. Wonder Dean had...
Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle. The championship season is on at Gulfstream Park with great horse racing action Thursday through Sunday. Come out and enjoy the world's best horses, trainers, and jockeys as they compete over the Hallandale Beach Oval all season long. Take your experience up a notch and join us in 10 Palms Restaurant with unbeatable track views, outstanding dining, and convenient wagering options. For reservations, event schedules, tickets, and more, head to GulfstreamPark.com.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
Big day on Saturday, obviously. Derby preps over at Gulfstream, Florida Derby, UAE Derby early in the morning, 100-point races, which includes the Arkansas Derby at Oaklawn. So who better to talk to than our friend Nancy Holthus. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on for such a big occasion.
Really, a very big day coming up. And speaking of that, it's been a fun meet. I say it whenever I have you on the air. I love Oaklawn. I think there's a lot of value. It's one of my favorite tracks all year long, but certainly in the winter, no exception this year. I pulled up the stats on the human side of things. Ramon Vasquez currently leading. Christian Torres, no surprise, right in the mix. Arrieta going well. Luis Saez, who I think has bounced back over to Gulfstream at this point, but he's right up there in the top 5. Nice jockey colony down there. But over on the trainer side, no surprise, Steve Asmussen, 45 wins over Mark Cassie with 22. And Mark's had a great meet with far less starters. So Mark's had a pretty good meet. Peter Miller in the mix, Chris Hartman, Kenny McPeak up there as well. It's been a fun Oaklawn meet so far.
It has. And speaking of Steve Asmussen, he is also our leading owner as of now. He actually tied for that last season. So right now he has a dominant lead in that division.
Yeah, when I had him on up at Saratoga a few years ago, I asked about that because it seemed like he was just kind of starting to claim some horses and they'd be under his ownership. And he said, yeah, it gives me some flexibility in my barn where if they're my horses, I can kind of move them in and out.
Well, it's so funny. A couple of meets ago, he claimed like a lower level Arkansas bred maiden. And I said, why in the world would you do that? You know, his response was, because they ride a race for it.
Yeah, so there you go. He's the leader for a reason.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into it. Before we do, you and I were talking before we went on the air. It looks like it's going to be a good, fun day down at Oaklawn. Again, not only one of my favorite tracks, it's one of my favorite tracks to visit. I've only been there once, but I got to get back. I know a lot of other people up here that I'm friendly with, horse racing fans, have the same opinion. They've made the visit and have enjoyed it. For us up here, I tell people the town, it's very Saratoga-like. They're totally into the horse racing game. You're kind of in a little neighborhood there, just the way Saratoga is. But this is the big day, and it looks like it's going to shape up that way on track tomorrow as well.
Yeah, you go to any restaurant, any bar after the races, they're still playing racing from across the country. People are talking about what they bet. There's win pictures on every wall in the restaurants here in Hot Springs. And, you know, it's been a part of the community for well over 100 years. So it brings in a lot of people, but it's cool that we are now, I think, officially a destination.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have some nice things planned for Derby Day, as it were, with the University of Arkansas band showing up.
Yeah, super excited. They joined us last year and it was such a huge hit. The fans loved it. The band had a great time. So yeah, they're going to come out before the Arkansas Derby, play obviously the national anthem, and of course the Arkansas fight song.
Very good, very good. I have a sister who lives up in Fayetteville, so I'm related to the university up there, and certainly like to root for them, no question about it. And in fact, my nephew is really good high school basketball player up there. And in the playoffs, they faced a team that had an Arkansas recruit on it. So John Calipari was in the house.
That's amazing. Yeah. You should hear the fans when they go into our sports bar restaurant to play and watch the Hogs. That's the first time I've ever gotten distracted from doing a paddock hit, because they were calling the Hogs and it was so loud. But it's so cool, you know. Yeah. I mean, they're our professional team in the state.
Yeah, again, from having experience, it's a lot of fun. All right, let's get into the card. Again, you have the Arkansas Derby and 3 nice undercard stakes as well. Let's kick things off with a look at the Arkansas Derby. Mile in 1/8. It looks like I'm interested to see what Napoleon Solo does in his next start, but it looks like he'll be headed to the Wood rather than the Arkansas Derby. So I wound up on Renegade on top, Silent Tactic. Litmus Test is interesting with Bob Baffert always. And Blackout Time for Kenny McPeak is intriguing to me. But a fun race with some of the top names. This week's NTRA poll, Renegade and Silent Tactic were both in the top 10. How'd you see the Derby playing out?
Well, I do lean towards the Todd Pletcher contender, Renegade.
Renegade continues that 4-wide sweep. Oselli got stopped there. Confessional's going to need a seam as they wind around to the top of the stretch. Here comes Renegade. Renegade trying to come after Wayne's Law. The Puma looking for room in behind. Then comes Game for it. Confessional's back to the inside, and Oselli, Renegade takes over from Wayne's Law, who's a stubborn foe, but Renegade inching clear late. Renegade and Irad Ortiz Jr. to win the Sam F. Davis. They won it by 3 in the end. Wayne's Law ran a big one for second. The Puma was third, Game for it fourth.
Andy Biancone has been getting on this horse in the mornings,
Oh.
and this horse is like butter. So really excited to see him out in the flesh. And he's already got 25 points towards that starting gate in May, but he certainly is going to need a better response to get those points if he wants to run in the Derby.
No question about it. How about Silent Tactic? Mark Casse, again, having a good meet, and he had 2 early on. And I mentioned on our Derby show this morning, Strategic Risk, I was high on and had the 2 starts end of last year and then the beginning of this year. And he kind of went in the wrong direction, but the mantle was picked up by Silent Tactic. He's put in 2 nice performances, the win in the Southwest and the close-up finish, the ding-dong battle with Class President in the Rebel.
Yeah, really impressed by Silent Tactic. He's trained forwardly. He's got some really good works under his belt. And, Mark Casse was very vocal coming into the season saying, I brought my A string. We came to win. And that certainly has been on display as he's very well represented in the fantasy as well. So really looking forward to seeing that horse come out. And he's also my guest tomorrow for Dawn at Oaklawn. So maybe get a little more insight on this 3-year-old.
People can catch that online as well, right?
Yes, the interview portion goes on Oaklawn's YouTube channel, and there's been some really, really good interviews. I'm so lucky to have the caliber of horsemen that we do have at Oaklawn because they're the celebrities here in Hot Springs. So yeah, really looking forward to getting to visit with Mark Casse.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, Mark's always a fun interview. Grab him every year up at Saratoga as well. How about Litmus Test from, well, the 2 I mentioned, Litmus Test from Bob Baffert. Obviously, Bob Baffert, anytime he makes it to Oaklawn, it just came out, he'll be there kind of full-time with a barn next year. That'll be fun. But Litmus Test comes in, and Blackout Time, as I say, ran 4th in the Rebel, but was the seasonal debut, is working well. Both of those are interesting to me.
Yeah, Blackout Time actually has one of the ownership partners was in on Mystic Dan. So it's got to be a bit of a deja vu moment, for Blackout Time. Kenny McPeak always shows up on race day and with his stock ready to go. So really excited to see Blackout Time. But also, as you mentioned, Litmus Test, already a graded stakes winner, taking the blinkers off. I'm guessing Bob had said that they weren't much of a cup, maybe even just a little bigger than a cheater, blinkers wise. But yeah, it does come in second off the layoff, got here well, and I do anticipate him showing that early speed again today. And I think it's so cool that Francisco Arrieta has been getting on this horse and gives him the call. So that's a huge get for our local colony.
Yeah, I always like to see that loyalty with the trainers and the jockeys. So that's nice to see. All right, that is obviously the highlight. Grade 1, $1.5 million up for grabs. But again, nice little undercard of stakes as well, particularly the Grade 3 Oaklawn Mile. I've written at the top of my page, wide open.
Yes.
And I put East Avenue on top, but not with a lot of confidence. Comes off an August layoff, but has a couple of bullet works down at Fairgrounds. Will take it for Dallas Stewart. You talk about a guy who shows up on big days. Dallas Stewart, you always have to pay attention to. New What's New is intriguing with a couple of triple-digit buyers already this season at Oaklawn. And I have to admit, I wanted to use Coal Battle. I didn't. I may be on the outside looking in, but he's intriguing to me. But the layoff just scared me there a little bit. What did you see in the mile?
Well, it's interesting. I kind of see a lot of this field returning in the fall in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. So that is the caliber of this race. Like you said, you can easily make a case for any of the runners in the field, but I did land on Full Serrano. We haven't seen John Sadler ship in this year. He does it with this runner. This horse has been really running in the deep end of the waters. Does make the Oaklawn debut, but yeah, really excited to see that we've had several runners return from the Pegasus World Cup, and that will kind of parlay into the Oaklawn handicap as well.
Yeah, I put Full Serrano down in the 4th spot. I didn't quite know what to do, but that was the 3rd place finish in the Pegasus. And as you mentioned, Skippy Longstocking won that.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good last week at your place in the Essex.
Skippy takes command. Skippy Longstocking at the quarter pole, putting 2.5 lengths, now 3 on the competition as he swings for home. Skippy Longstocking. MacMan on the outside trying to run by Accelerize, who's tired. Then Gould's Gold with a furlong to go. Skippy Longstocking by 6 coming to the 16th pole. He's drifting around a little bit here, but he's well clear. Skippy Longstocking to the roar from the Oaklawn crowd. Add the Essex handicap to a stellar resume. Skippy Longstocking in the Essex.
He looked phenomenal, and I said it all day long. He is a man among boys. So just so impressed by his talent. But yeah, speaking of the Oaklawn handicap, his stablemate, White Barrio, has already confirmed that he'll be running in the Oaklawn handicap.
And if people check social media, you can see he had a nice work. Was it yesterday? I think he had the nice work down at Gulfstream. What did you make of the Dallas Stewart horse? Will Take It, because 10-1 on the morning line and comes off a win in the 5th season. I thought the 10-1 off that win was generous. I'll be looking to get that at least in the mix.
Yeah, love to see Dallas in here. Ricardo Santana coming back after moving his tack to New York, but does have 2 wins over the local surface. And, you know, he really proved himself as an allowance runner. So why not step him up into that graded company? He's really solid at the mile distance as well. So I think, honestly, Seth, the Oaklawn Mile might just be a rider's race, and especially right out of that starting gate. And some might benefit because we do have a shorter stretch run at the mile. It's the first finish line. So they're going to have to make that move a little bit earlier today.
And gun party in there for the aforementioned owner, Steve Asmussen, as a trainer as well. And Neo Equos is a horse I didn't use, but I've liked that horse in various races throughout the career, and kind of interesting. Safi with limited starters, Safi Joseph having a pretty good meet when he comes up to Oaklawn. And this one making a turf to dirt move off a turf stakes win down at Gulfstream. And at a price on the morning line, that one's interesting as well.
Yeah, he's trained really, really well at Gulfstream Park. He's produced a couple of bullet works. He does come in off of freshening and also second off of a significant layoff. So I love that Irad Ortiz does come in to join us again this weekend. So yeah, I really think this is going to be not more exciting than the Derby, but just as exciting.
Well, as I said at the top, I have written at the top of my page, wide open. And I think you can point at any one of those and have about the same level of confidence, which isn't much actually on your top pick, but that may bode well for a good betting race. So looking forward to the mile on the undercard. Also the American Pharaoh, 4-year-olds and up, which have not won a stakes race in 25-26, 8.5 furlongs, the trip. I went with Publisher for Steve Asmussen. Coming off a couple of wins already down at Oaklawn, albeit on off tracks, but he has some fast tracks races that are very good as well. Classic Car Wash with the aforementioned Irad Ortiz on board for Mark Cassie. Winnemac Avenue, intriguing as well. Echo again for Norm Cassie. Another fun race. What did you see in the American Pharaoh?
I actually went with the DeVito runner, Winnemac Avenue. This horse has had a good amount of success here at Oaklawn. He comes in 3rd off the layoff, which is a specific handicapping angle that I really like and I've had a little bit of success with. He is going to step up to take on those that already maybe have some black type, but he's solid at the distance, and I think he's going to benefit, especially with Luis Saez, who's been on him last 2 times with a pair of seconds. I think he's maybe going to benefit being down on the rail and is able to get in a really good position going into that first turn.
Yeah, as I say, I had him in the mix also. What about Classic Car Wash on the outside, who comes in off the close-up 3rd place finish off a long layoff? What do you make of that? I'm leery. I love 3rd start back, 2nd start back off a good effort. I'm always, what will we get this time? But, you know, he's had a little time on the sidelines. He's had a month on the sidelines. So he's interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't think Mark Cassie is going to enter a horse, unless he does think that they're going to be at least a little bit competitive. So it's nice that, we've got all of these overnight stakes this year to let some others maybe get some black type on their page.
Yeah, Mark, I had him on early in the year, and he said, he's more of a presence at Oaklawn. He said, that's where the money is. And he's not kidding. Oaklawn over the past few years, as I say, one of my favorite tracks anyway, but it is the game has been upped down in Arkansas in the wintertime. We'll kick the stakes action off in the fourth race, the Temperance Hill. And I had to go back and look because that goes back to my early days as a fan. Up here, he won the Travers in 1980, but down there, 81, he won the Razorback and the Oaklawn Handicap for Arkansas-based connections. And again, this harkens back to my early days. Joe Canty training, Eddie Maitland on board, and Loblolly, the owner. So just a little refresher on the name there for folks who are maybe newer to the game. Temperance Hill was one of those horses, as I say, kind of helped pull me into the game.
Yeah, Loblolly then transitioned into Short Leaf Stable and have had a lot of success. I love that they named their horses with a geographic place in Arkansas. So that's always a lot of love, and big fan of Short Leaf Stable, John Ed Anthony. And we're just very thankful to have his base here at Oaklawn this season.
Let's take a look at the Temperance Hill. 1.5 miles, couple $100,000 up for grabs. I was kind of master of the obvious with the Kevin Attard horse, who, boy, he's been kind of a world traveler this winter. Kevin Attard, of course, based up at Woodbine and had raced November and December up at Woodbine, but then came down to Gulfstream and raced, and then they popped up and tried a stakes race up at Laurel, the Post Time, which is interesting. Post Time made his name last year, and he's already got a race named after him, but he was very popular in Maryland. So again, bounced around, but has been training down at the Palmettos base, now comes over to Arkansas. But again, in the current good form, Pietro Moran on board, who we interviewed last year up at Woodbine, nice up-and-comer on the jockey side of things. Parchment Party is logical. Off the marathon win up at Saratoga last year in the Birdstone, they got an invite to the Melbourne Cup. They took the invite. I mean, it didn't work out well, but yeah, now they come back here. Ford Street is interesting. Compton. What did you see in the Temperance Hill?
Well, I actually did go with the Kevin Attard runner, who does come off a win last time. Certainly not worried about that bounce effect, as it's been, at least 6 weeks until we've seen this runner. Has some really good works, which tells me that this runner is training forwardly. And I've never been there, but from what my peeps at Palmetto say, it's a really good track. It's kind of deep, and they really do get that fitness for them. So happy to see some new faces come in to compete at the Racing Festival of the South. A lot of people are sending horses here for the first time.
Yeah, and speaking of that, it seems like over the past couple of years, as I said, Mark Cassian, and he's become more of a presence. I mentioned the money, and it's become popular, and it's just a great venue anyway, with the whole town being into it. And it seems like there have been new faces on the training side over the past 2 or 3 years that have kind of populated the backstretch.
Yeah, just on the Saturday card, we're giving away in purses more than $3.3 million. So, but on a normal day, like say a normal Thursday, roughly getting around 900,000 out. So we're getting, I think total somewhere around 62, 63 million for the whole season. So yeah, they're not coming to practice. They're coming to run.
And how did it seemed to me like it was a good idea, the new schedule, kind of the early meet and the traditional meet, and taking January, which seemed like a good idea given, again, I have a sister who lives up in Fayetteville. That's a little further north, but that January weather down there is always a little iffy. So I thought it was a good move. Even that, you had the week period where you guys just got the crazy storm that hit pretty much the entire east side of the country.
Right. Yeah, it was interesting to get that 3-week hiatus, which turned into a month nearly. But the horsemen and the employees, we were definitely ready to get back in action. So not sure what's going to happen with our dates next season. I'm hearing they're going to be similar, but yet with some adjustments.
Okay, so we'll look for that. But again, always a great time to watch Oaklawn racing, as they say. A lot of great action, great value, and just give us a little rundown on what's coming up over the next couple of weeks. You mentioned the fantasy. We have the Apple Blossom coming up. So this is a big day, but still some great racing to come.
Yeah, it's huge. We not only have the Apple Blossom, but the following week we will have the Oaklawn Handicap. So I love to see these stars come and compete, because those two races combined have produced a amazing amount of talent that we will see later down the line.
Yeah, looking forward to it as always. Nancy, appreciate the visit as always. get a little look at the big card and some ideas on some of the stakes action. I say it to you whenever I have you on the air. And again, I mentioned before we were on the air, when I sit here in the studio, my monitor in the front, I have 4 or 5 tracks going usually, and I'll pull up sound here or there. But I always enjoy you and Matt on the pregame show. You guys do a good job, good information, but it's fun to listen to. And there's a good rapport there. So I'll give you a thumbs up there, and the rest of the team down there also as well. So pass it on. Appreciate your input each and every racing day down there.
Well, thank you. It's easy when you love what you do. So it doesn't feel like, I get to come watch the races every day. So, but I get paid to do it. Why not? So yeah, Matt and I have developed an amazing chemistry. He's like my work son. So yeah, very blessed to have him on our team.
Does he have you, do you have any rubber ducks in your office? Has he
Lord, no.
transitioned that over to you?
I'm more of a horse or trainer bobblehead kind of girl, I think. Yeah. So
I always find it funny on social media as he moves from track to track, he puts a picture of him packing the rubber ducks.
Yeah, that's too much clutter for me, but yeah, but he's gotten them from all around the world. People send him like once a week. Somebody will come, I got a package for Matt. Let me guess, it's a duck. So love it.
I didn't realize that. So, but I understand it because again, social media, you can see where that was.
Exactly.
Nancy, again, thanks for the visit, and we will talk again.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
The championship season is on at Gulfstream Park with great horse racing action Thursday through Sunday. Come out and enjoy the world's best horses, trainers, and jockeys as they compete over the Hallandale Beach Oval all season long. Take your experience up a notch and join us in 10 Palms Restaurant with unbeatable track views, outstanding dining, and convenient wagering options. For reservations, event schedules, tickets, and more, head to GulfstreamPark.com.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
Welcome back to Racing Across America as we get ready to wrap it up here. Again, they're showing the replays down at Gulfstream with 11:30 post time. They'll head to their pregame. As I thought earlier, 10:15, 10:30 or so, I'd expect them to kick off. And again, their opener today at Gulfstream, 11:30 on a big day. And again, we're in the midst of the Dubai card, the UAE Derby. I was right there with the horses I liked, the long shot that I thought was interesting on top, Brotherly Love. In this, I thought we were going to get third with that one, but wound up fourth. But mine were right there, but I did not have the winner. However, I did mention over the last few years, Japan has been a presence on the international scene, and they got it done with Wonder Bean. Pyromancer was the Japanese runner that was taking action. That one ran third, and the favorite, 6-speed, wound up running second in there. Looked like maybe a little challenged by the distance. Had never tried the maximum distance 6-speed had run before, a mile. The UAE Derby, a mile and 3/16. So just shortened up a little at the end. And Wonder Bean went by, I think it was about $11, $9 maybe on the win there for Wonder Bean in the UAE Derby. Coming up, we're still about 20 minutes away from the Alquaz Sprint. And again, we have in the remainder of the card some nice stakes races and some American runners to pay attention to. The upcoming race is race number 5. Race number 6 today is the Golden Shaheen. Ben Tornado is in there, American runner, and Nakatomi also in there. So again, that'll be race 6 with a couple American runners in the mix. 7th race today, the Dubai Turf. And race number 8 is the Shima Classic, which short field only 6 in there when they put up that kind of money. But again, with the situation over in the Mideast being what it is, I think it has affected field size to some extent. But that said, the Dubai World Cup, Forever Young's there off the nice win in the Saudi Cup, win streak that includes the race before the Saudi Cup, the Dubai or the Breeders' Cup Classic. The Dubai World Cup scheduled to go off about 12:45 our time, 12:45. Magnitude is in there. Jose Ortiz over for the ride. Comes out of a win in the Razorback Hit Show. Flojo on board for Anchero for Brad Cox. Magnitude trained by Steve Asmussen. But Hit Show for Brad Cox coming out of a win down at Fairgrounds. So again, Dubai World Cup with, all eyes on Forever Young, obviously, coming up at 12:45. But next up at Meydan will be the Al-Quad Sprint, race number 5. And again, a little under 20 minutes away now. Mentioned with Nancy, we taped her yesterday morning, and so still ahead was the Fantasy. Fantasy was run yesterday, and it was Counting Stars getting it done. Explora for Bob Baffert had come down with the temperature, and so that one was scratched. And that left Counting Stars as the short-priced favorite. Did get it done pretty easily, which was good to see because Counting Stars was one of those head scratchers going back to the Martha Washington early in February, where the horse was coming out of 2 wins in December down at Oaklawn that were very good, and then comes back in the Martha Washington and runs 8th by 60 lengths. I mean, it was a complete no-show that day. Followed it up, however, March 1st, running a close-up second to Explora. So when Explora scratched, again, favoritism fell to Counting Stars, and she got back on track. Again, won pretty easily yesterday for our friends at West Point and Mark Cassie. Of course, Mark today has Silent Tactic in the Arkansas Derby. And again, big day today with, again, the Dubai World Cup coming up a little after lunchtime, and then we'll be right in the thick of things, Gulfstream, and then on to Arkansas as well with the Florida Derby and the Arkansas Derby, and nice undercards at both of those venues also. And there's kind of, today is kind of that New York claiming crownish kind of thing, I think, as well. So maybe some fun in New York also. Oaklawn, as I say, Gulfstream kicks off at 11:30. Oaklawn kicks off our time at a little after 12:30. So, mark that on your calendar. And don't forget, we are currently open at the Clubhouse Racebook. We opened at 9 o'clock today to accommodate folks who wanted to watch the Dubai World Cup races. So we are open at the Racebook currently. We'll be open until about 9 o'clock tonight because there is the nice action that goes a little bit later down in Arkansas. So keep that in mind. Let me remind you once again as well. Oh, and let me remind you also, I said it yesterday in the Derby Deep Dive show. It is a big day on the, Derby Trail because the NTRA poll, which comes out every Monday, there is a separate 3-year-old poll this time of year, and 6 of the top 10 on the NTRA poll are racing today, either in Florida or Arkansas. So it's a day that's going to have impact clearly, obviously, when you have these 100-point races and the real contenders showing up. It's going to be fun to watch the action from both of those venues today. Again, I want to remind you that if you like that jackpot high 5 at 20 cents up at Woodbine Mohawk tonight, a mandatory pay. It'll be race 13 tonight, Woodbine Mohawk, 20-cent increment. And I keep saying it. You can put together a little pyramid, pick a couple of horses maybe in the first couple of slots that you like. So they're going to have to do something on the top end and then maybe spread a little underneath and just have fun. For 20 cents, you can put together a reasonable ticket. And usually it pays off decently up there. So that's tonight. Woodbine Mohawk, mandatory pay in their jackpot high 5. And tomorrow at Gulfstream, they will have a mandatory in their Rainbow 6. Don't forget also today here at the Clubhouse Racebook, match bet promotion. Come on down, have a little extra fun. Clubhouse Racebook this afternoon. 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Go over, grab a little lunch at Black Bear, and kick back and enjoy a really, really good day of racing. I'm going to wrap it up here, Racing Across America. And again, we were a little bit early this morning because they're early with the post time at Gulfstream, and that means an early kickoff to their pregame show. You can see right there, they're on race 10 on the replays, and usually they wrap up those replays from the day before, and then there's a little break, and they'll kick into the pregame show down there. So we're going to wrap up before that kicks off, and also stay tuned this morning because we will continue to be plugging in the nice stakes action from Dubai as well. I'll be back with the early post at Gulfstream, probably back in an hour or so to take a look at some of the early action at Gulfstream, and we may dip into some Dubai as well. All of that coming up on OTB Live on a Saturday morning into a Saturday afternoon. So Seth Merrow wrapping up for Racing Across America this morning. Again, thanks to Brian Nadeau, thanks to Nancy Holthus, and thanks to you for tuning in. As I say, back in a few with OTB Live for a Saturday afternoon. Stay tuned.
We'd like to thank Gulfstream Park for their sponsorship of this program and some of the other programming and events here at Capital OTB. Gulfstream Park's championship meet features great racing now through Florida Derby weekend at the end of March.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off-Track Betting.